Welcome to my Inside US Politics channel. Please subscribe to my channel. The Good Morning America studio was buzzing with excitement as George Stephanopoulos, dressed in his signature sharp suit, welcomed the audience with his usual polished charm. Good morning, America. Today, we're thrilled to have with us Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, here to discuss her latest projects. The crowd erupted as Meghan entered, her poise impeccable, her smile radiant yet tinged with a hint of steel. She settled into the chair, exchanging warm greetings with George and co-host Robin Roberts, who praised her humanitarian efforts. George began gently. "Meghan, your new initiative on mental health awareness is inspiring. How do you balance that with your other ventures?" Meghan's voice was calm, measured. "It's about connecting with people, George, sharing stories to make a difference." The audience clapped, but George's tone shifted, a curious edge creeping in. "That's noble, but let's talk about the royal family. There's been speculation about your exit. Any regrets or unresolved tensions?" Meghan's smile faltered, her hands clasping tightly. "My focus is on moving forward, supporting my family, and helping others." "The past is just that," the crowd murmured, sensing a pivot. George pressed on. "Fair enough, but there's talk of a rift. Some say you've been critical behind closed doors. Care to address that?" Meghan's eyes narrowed, her voice firm. "George, I've shared my truth in my own time. I won't rehash it for headlines." The audience cheered, but the tension thickened. George, undeterred, leaned in. "But Meghan, your Oprah interview stirred a storm of claims of racism in the palace. Are those still your views?" Meghan's breath hitched, her composure cracking. "Those were personal experiences, shared to heal." "You're twisting it into a circus." The crowd gasped, some clapping, others whispering. George pushed further. "Circus? Fans want clarity. Did you mean to imply the royals are bigots?" Meghan's voice rose, emotion breaking through. "Clarity? I meant to protect my family, not vilify anyone." "This isn't fair." Her eyes glistened with tears as she stood, trembling. "I'm done with this ambush. I won't be your punching bag." She yanked off her mic, letting it drop as she walked off, tears streaming, the audience erupting in a chaotic mix of cheers and boos. George sat stunned, Robin reaching out as the cameras lingered on the raw moment. The show cut to commercial, but the scene was already viral, with ex-posts flooding in. Meghan just schooled George, and George went too far. Let her cry in peace. The studio buzzed with shock. Had George overstepped, or had Meghan's reaction been inevitable? The internet exploded, clips spreading like wildfire, igniting a global debate. As the broadcast resumed, the studio was still charged from Meghan Markle's tearful exit, the audience a blend of sympathy and surprise. George Stephanopoulos, regaining his footing, offered a tight smile. "Well, folks, that's the intensity of live TV," he said, his voice unsteady. "Meghan Markle, a voice for Manuel. Let's give her a hand." The crowd clapped, but the applause was uneven, mirroring the X-storm. Meghan's tears were real. George was cruel, and she can't handle tough questions. Backstage, producers scrambled, debating whether to reach out to Meghan or let the moment stand. George leaned into the chaos. "I respect Meghan's work. Her advocacy is powerful. But in this forum, we ask the hard questions, right?" The audience nodded, but the tension persisted. Robin chimed in, soothingly. "She's a strong woman. Let's hope she's okay." George nodded, adding humor. "I've had guests get emotional, but a mic drop with tears? That's a first." The band played a soft sting, easing the mood. Offstage, Meghan's team issued a statement. The Duchess came to discuss her initiatives, not to be ambushed with old wounds. The words hit social media, framing George as the aggressor. On X, fans posted support. Meghan's resilience shines through her tears, while critics countered, "She signed up for these. Cry somewhere else." The show's Instagram shared a clip, captioned, "Meghan's emotional moment on GMA, fueling the viral wave." Backstage, rumors swirled that Meghan had left the building, her team shielding her from paparazzi. George aired a segment on her mental health project, saying, "This is her focus," but the audience's minds were on the clash. Online, debates raged, with some praising her vulnerability, others questioning her media savvy. George wrapped the segment with a nod. "Stay with us, America. More to come." The crowd cheered, But the questions lingered. Had George's probe been fair, or had he triggered a breakdown? The moment was already a cultural flashpoint, sparking endless discussion. The Good Morning America set remained electric after Meghan Markle's tearful walkout, the audience grappling with the raw emotion displayed. George Stephanopoulos, ever the pro, addressed the fallout with a measured grin. "Folks, live TV brings surprise acid that was one for the books," he said, his tone a mix of admiration and caution. "Meghan Markle, a trailblazer, let's honor her journey." The crowd clapped, but the split was evident. Echoed on X, "Meghan's tears broke my heart. George was out of line, and she needs to toughen up for the spotlight." Backstage, producers debated the optics, some seeing a PR nightmare, others a ratings win. George reflected, "I admire Meghan's advocacy. Archewell is making waves. But we ask what viewers want to know, right?" The audience murmured agreement, but the air was thick with unease. Robin added, "She's humana, let's give her space." George nodded, joking, "Next time, I'll bring tissues." The crowd laughed, but the weight remained. Offstage, Meghan's team doubled down. "This was a disrespectful set-up. Her story isn't for exploitation." The statement went viral, with ex-users rallying, "Protect Meghan at all costs." While others scoffed, "She knew the risks." The show's social media posted a softer clip, captioned, "Meghan's passion shines, trying to pivot." On X, celebrities weighed in. Oprah praised her courage, while Piers Morgan called it a tantrum. The clash was compared to past royal media storms, like Diana's interviews. George offered a conciliatory note, "If Meghan's watching, we're here for the real story, a comeback." The gesture earned applause, but the damage was done. Backstage, Meghan's exit was confirmed, her team planning a response. Fans flooded X with support, while critics dug into her past media moments. The incident became a media lesson, dissecting morning show ethics. Online threads analyzed her tears, her stance, as signs of strain, while others defended George's role. As the show ended, George signed off, "Thanks, America, see you tomorrow." The crowd cheered, but the debate raged. Was this a fair interview or a media ambush? The moment was etched in TV history, a clash of narrative and emotion fueling global conversation. The ripple effects of Meghan Markle's tearful exit from Good Morning America were immediate, dominating headlines and social feeds by afternoon. Clips of her clash with George Stephanopoulos amassed millions of views, with titles like "Meghan's GMA meltdown stuns viewers." The next day, George addressed it, his tone a blend of regret and resolve. "Yesterday, we had an emotional moment with Meghan Markle," he said, his smile tight. "She's a force, and we're open to her return." The audience clapped, but the online divide was stark. Meghan's tears were powerful as George crossed a line, and she can't handle the heat of fame. Variety called it a raw display of vulnerability, while the Daily Mail speculated on royal fallout. Meghan, staying quiet beyond a team statement. Her focus is healing, not headline as a one sympathy, though some saw it as evasion. Other hosts, like Gayle King, sidestepped it, while Wendy Williams quipped, "Tears sell stories." The remarks sparked laughs and debate on media ethics. Fans revisited Meghan's journey suits to royalty, praising her strength, while critics cited past controversies to question her stability. George kept the narrative alive, joking, "I'll have a cry kit ready next time," drawing laughs but sustaining buzz. The clash became a case study, analyzing interview boundaries and celebrity pressure. On X, threads dissected her tears, her walkout, as emotional peaks, while others defended George's journalistic duty. The cultural impact was huge, with think pieces on privacy, media, and royalty. Weeks later, the frenzy eased, but the moment lingered as a benchmark. Meghan, at a charity event, avoided the topic, saying, "I'm here for the cause." George signed off GMA with, "Meghan, the door is open." The crowd cheered, but the incident was etched in TV lore, a clash of vulnerability and scrutiny that sparked a global dialogue, splitting narratives between triumph and tantrum, its legacy echoing beyond the morning's air.